It is a very damp and dewy morning out here this morning. If you've been wondering how my feet have been doing in this section, pretty damn good. Basically, after all those issues around Hamilton, even my arch has calloused. Yesterday was just damn rough on me. I was dragging and huffing and puffing pretty much the entire day. I suspect it's just the fact that I was up above 11,000 feet. I tend to handle altitude relatively well, but there's still an adjustment period. See that Trans-Sierra trip Taters and I did as one of the warm-ups where we jumped up to 12K and we're just dying. Good news is, if that's all it was, things should start looking up. I was also nauseous for a good portion of yesterday, though I didn't have headache or any of the other AMS symptoms. It's also possible it's some combination of, me being a wimp / this big food carry I'm doing. Based on my usual mileage, I'm hoping today will basically set me up right around the northern end of the Cirque of the Towers alternate, which is one of these rare non-red line things I decided I was going to do along the way. Yesterday basically took everything I had to make just 20 miles. And one of the frustrating things about this trail in particular, if you're trying to do the entire thing, is that 20 miles is reasonable, but not great. Ideally, I'd be doing closer to, 24, 25. But I barely made it as far as I did last night. I was very tempted to stop earlier than that. The thing that kept me going was the campsite I picked was lower than all the surrounding sections. And I figured if I was having altitude issues, I wanted to try and help myself as much as I could, which meant sleeping as low as I could, without going off trail. And even though it was only a couple hundred feet, is what it is. And I also tried to hydrate a little better at night, since dehydration is one of those things that tends to contribute to people not handling altitude quite as well. Weather-wise yesterday, I had big threatening clouds for a good chunk of the day. I saw plenty of rain off on the distance, got a little bit of drizzle on top of me, but no thunder or lightning, which again is the bigger concern out here. Rain will make the rocks a little slick, but I can manage that. But not a big fan of lightning well above tree line. I got to a comment about how there was a blowdown event a couple of years ago, but it had been mostly cleared. Mostly. This was the section I'd been hoping to camp in yesterday, assuming I'd had a little bit better of a time. And welcome to Hat Pass. I actually had enough bars of reception to check on a couple of things. Basically, trying to use the internet with, 1 bar of LTE is pretty much the worst thing I can do for my battery. So I've gotten out of the habit of even checking if I have reception very often. And if I really need something, I just ping Taters via the inReach. And yet another wet foot crossing. So I've seen 2 separate horse trains and a couple of tents today. These are the first other hikers I've seen. There's just always something going on. does appear that I'm looking over at the Cirque of the Towers alt with the red line going off to the right there. And this is, as I mentioned earlier, one of the few alts I decided I was going to do. Peaks look awesome. Reminds me of the Sierra. And I just can't seem to escape the cows out here. Oh man, end of the day. And my feet are going to be wet. And this is the turnoff to Cirque of the Towers right around here. I was warned that there wasn't a sign. Actually, it looks like this is the actual junction on gut hooks. It's about 5 ducks instead of 1. And I'm just trying to find a campsite for the night. This was the second campsite I found, basically because there was a discarded wood pile in an old fire pit. I actually looked around quite a bit more, just figuring there had to be something better, but this works. Home sweet home for the night.